In Lesson 9, we bring everything together. We're building a complete operational dashboard, the kind a property manager would actually open every morning. There are 3 panels: properties on the left, work orders in the center, and details on the right. Variables connect them, so clicking in one panel automatically updates the others. Action buttons let managers do things right from the dashboard, such as mark a work order complete or assign technician. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a fully working management tool. The 3-panel layout is the gold standard for operational dashboards. It forces you to focus, one property at a time. Only relevant work orders, one work order at a time. This pattern works for small teams and large enterprise alike. Under the hood, it's 3 variables, each holding one object. When you click a property on the left, it updates selected property. The center panel reads that variable to filter its work orders, and when you click a work order, it updates selected work order. The second panel reads that to show details. The magic is the link filter. Filtering by selected property is what makes the center panel refresh automatically when you click the left panel. The build order is critical. Layout first. Get the page structure right. Variables second. Lay down the wires. Then add widgets left to right, starting with the master list and ending with details and actions. Follow this order and you'll have a working dashboard in under 30 minutes. That assumes you've already built the ontology in Lesson 5 through 7 and understand how links and actions work. Skip a step or go out of order and you'll spend hours wondering why nothing works. For the left panel, object list is your best choice. Set the primary text to address. That's what users care about most. Add a secondary text for quick context. Turn on search with 30 properties. Scrolling is slow, but typing is instant. Add the selection binding is what connects this panel to everything else. The center panel is where most people get stuck, and it's because of the link filter. What you're telling Foundry is, show me all work orders that are linked to whatever property is stored in selected property. When that variable changes, the filter reapplies automatically and the table refreshes. If you skip this filter, the table shows every work order regardless of which property you clicked. And that's a bug that will cost you hours to figure out. Detail panel is actually the easiest widget to set up once your variable is ready. It reads the object type and shows all properties automatically. The action button is where it gets interesting. Always add a confirmation dialog. You don't want a property manager to accidentally mark something complete and then scramble to undo it. The drop-down plus button pattern for assigning technicians is intentional. Think of it like a vending machine. You pick what you want, then press the button to confirm. A single click action would be faster, but what if the wrong technician was selected and someone clicked by accident? The 2-step approach forces you to be deliberate. Now let's talk about the things that make a dashboard go from it works to people actually want to use it. Metrics at the top give managers the headline numbers at a glance. Filters let them focus on what matters right now, maybe just open high priority items or just plumbing issues. Sorting makes sure the most important stuff rises to the top. Test in preview mode constantly, that's your quality control. These additions may take 5 minutes, but they dramatically improve the experience. So always leave time for that last round of polish. In the next lesson, we add the analytical layer, charts and aggregations that show patterns over time. The dashboard we built today answers what's happening right now. Charts answer what trends should I worry about. Together, they give property managers both tactical and strategic visibility. Finish your homework for lesson 9 and mark complete. I'll see you in the next lesson.